here we are. We're almost at the end game. And I'm already so sad.
Despite how we may have come about, this whole review in the series, it really was that moment that,
Yeah.
remind me of the actor's name. I had it on my tongue.
Shuhei?
Shuhei. Why is it that Shuhei, now for 2 reviews, has just had the most bow, thank you, and just the most bombastic exit of for both from Build and from Kiva.
Oh, sorry, Kohei. My bad.
Yeah,
I always get
Kohei.
Shuhei and Kohei confused.
Yeah,
Kohei
Kohei.
Takeda, yeah.
Yeah, that was, and despite all that, despite how both the characters are almost similar, Kohei just again was having fun, enjoying himself, but then just leaves us with the most what the F exiting from both Greece and from Ixa.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Truly a man that deserves more love in the writer chronology. Honestly, bring him to Japan World Heroes. He really is a hero.
Yeah, and yeah, they really, Toku Spirits. If you're watching us right now, and you probably are, definitely please try to arrange things for him to come next year. Yeah, and also it's 2024, which means that in a few more years, it's going to be yet another 9-year anniversary season. Let's see, 2028. So it's in 4 years. Just make another season and have Kohei Takeda just come back as another character.
Yeah. But still looking like he's 20.
Yeah, no, they're gonna make him. No, they're gonna make him look like he's 12 because he looked 32, then 22, and then naturally he's gonna look like a 12-year-old.
Oh my god! But yes, we're here.
Julius Novacrolo.
We're here because, we're reviewing 3 episodes, right?
Yeah, only 3 episodes. Episodes 44 through 46, aka the end of the 1986 storyline.
Which kind of sucks because it's you can honestly legitimately say that throughout the whole series we've been back and forth. Now it's kind of the, well, I'll probably say it next week, but I'm kind of the sort of more entertaining part of the story has finished.
Yeah, for us, I would have to say the 1986 timeline was definitely the better half of it, and I had to come to terms with that 5 years ago, and going over it now, it's not only do I feel vindicated, but I feel like that gap in quality is just widened. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm older and stuff, because look, when I was I've each of the 4 Ninja Turtles was my favorite at different points in my life. When I was first introduced, Raphael is my favorite because he's literally the first one you see in the movie and in the TV show that we do not talk about. Then it was Leonardo because he was the leader, and then it was Donatello because I always liked the nerd, the Brainiac trope character of the team. So at that point it was Donatello, but getting older, I'm you know what? Michelangelo's my favorite Ninja Turtle. He's not the smartest, nor is he the crudest and cruelest one. But the thing is, he resonates with me to some extent. Maybe it's because I'm older and he's a kid at heart. But I think it's for similar reasons why I kind of like Otoya more than Wataru, even though Otoya's not even the main character.
Well, I mean, I've seen a couple other reviews here and there about Kiva, and not to go deep into anything they've said, but a majority of them always critique how, like the story is really spread out with its characters, and how, Kiva doesn't really seem to be the focused writer in this series.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, well, no. I mean, he is, but like, it's kind of like, yeah, you're right. I feel like if they had done the story focusing more on 86, which I kind of feel that's what happened with a few things that reviewers and even things I have found out,
Mm-hmm.
then I've been like, you know what? Yeah, Otoya, would have been the writer that, of course, because that's who we focus on most of all. It's like more so than Wataru. But it's kind of like, well, we already have, the characters casted, and apparently because the main actor is like a very popular model or was starting up,
Mm-hmm.
it's like their main focus just came on that. But a lot of it's like, well, if that's the point, then why wasn't he Otoya? Why wasn't he like, because that's the one that you mainly see in this whole series is Otoya.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, and like even like with Wataru being the main character, it's like almost his entire plot in the first half of the series is just him trying to live up to his father.
But then it's kind of like, dude, your father. See, that's the thing. If the focus wasn't Otoya, but it's Wataru who literally became better than his father.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah, like, do you really want to be like Otoya Wataru? Do you really? Because I mean, you would not be focusing on Mio as much as you would. You would have been playing Mio. You would have been playing like Megumi and Shizuka.
Oh, definitely not Shizuka, because even Otoya's like, yeah, come back like in 10 years.
Yeah. Which, not this review, but next review, that's when we go into the supposed fan theories about a certain character that we have not been introduced to yet.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, well, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I feel as though more so now, especially with everything that's happened, not to go into too deep, it's like within these next 6 episodes or this specific part of episodes, Wataru finally like gets a backbone and starts, embracing what is inevitably a BS ritual or BS inheritance that he is doing, but he's doing it for reasons that, again, we won't touch on this, but we'll get to soon. But it was also very sad because things happen. It just shows like how far someone will go to protect what they want, if that means the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, no, it's true, and like I've been like texting you while I was like rewatching the episodes. It's like even like in the first 2 minutes of episode 45, like I'm already like wanting to cry because it's like the way like they just got. I think it's best for me to bring it up like when we go into it, but like. But it's like the little things that you don't pay attention to in your first time watching that like hit harder when you know what's gonna happen by the end of these 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to keep it together because like, oh man, like Otoya has grown on me so much. Like honestly, like I can relate to Yuri because much like Yuri, like Otoya is the character that like I did not like at first, but he's grown on me to the point that it's like I feel so attached to him. Don't go, Otoya.
Yeah, especially with everything that he does in these episodes.
Yeah.
That he's just like, I'm like, okay, first off, why? Why are you doing this? Why? But we kind of know why. We kind of know what's going on, even though we haven't really. But Yeah, let's. Anna, is there anything else vaguely that we must touch on before we jump into this?
Not really. All I can say is I'm just glad that Mio's gone.
Yeah, and I know I said last week that there was no blood curdling scream from Wataru as she shattered.
But we
It
do
wasn't.
see someone else do a blood curdling scream.
Yeah, later. But the thing is that I take it back because as this episode opened up, it's like, oh she shattered, she blah blah blah, whatever. And it took him it's kind of like that delayed reaction, as they say, like when you touch something like very hot or like you receive pain, you receive it within like a second or 3 seconds of when it happened.
Yeah.
But apparently there are
Oh, like that scene from Talladega Nights when Will Ferrell like stabbed himself in the leg.
Yeah, but apparently there was a delayed reaction that he's just like, and then a minute later just screams out like, okay, Wataru, chill the fuck out. It's just a pile of sea glass at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not.
Yeah, no use in crying over stained glass.
Especially that was that useless.
Yeah, just put the pendulum in the middle. Just put the pendulum in the middle. I'm not gonna say what I'm referring to, but but
oh yeah,
gotta put the pendulum in the middle. Yeah, so Wataru is like broken up about the fact that like he killed Mio, and of course
she killed herself. We must all agree upon that because she could have just stayed on the sidelines. God knows
and let Wataru do what she wanted him to do.
Yeah. No, I have my people. Wait, she could have just. I know, but I know why. I don't fucking know. Did she? I think she cared. I'm like, she's technically. I'm like, it's so like I had to like
be tripping.
I had to explain how ever since it was official that Wataru is like a Fangire, she kind of like at that point she accepted her role as queen, but like a part of it was like not really understanding what it is to be queen. Because it's just like, again, Mio and Maya are two different things, two different people. But it's like Mio tried to be like Maya, which is like, no, you can't. And God knows why. Well, the writers know why you did that, because you were like, battle's over here, and you are way over here. Why? Why? Oh, I felt bad for Saga. I felt bad for Taiga. And I'm like, why? You don't like him.
Because even though I stabbed him and told his brother to try to kill him, he still vouched for me.
And apparently I want to be the center of this relationship. I love it when two people fight over me. And I'm just like, oh, this is a pick-me girl, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, like, man.
And also, like, it was like while I was watching these 3 episodes that I started to realize that a certain anime seemed very familiar to me when I was watching it for the first time, and now I understand why. It's because it was very similar to Kamen Rider Kiva, because I watched Kamen Rider Kiva first. Keep that in mind. And that anime is a Hunter x Hunter because what's it called? Bishop is literally Shia Poof.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Motif.
Oh yeah. I was just like, wait, how the heck? And I was like, but then again, I'm like, see, this is the thing that people don't get is that Hunter is an old story. Like they think like, oh, the anime back in like in 2011. I'm like, dude, Hunter like was a was a series I believe was made in the late 80s, early 90s, like
No,
right.
late 90s because Togashi started working on it after he
Oh yeah, no, I'm
sort
sorry.
of
Yeah,
finished Yu Yu
it
Hakusho.
was like towards the end of Yu Yu Hakusho, and that was like the mid 90s, and then Hunter x Hunter came out like somewhere in
Late
between the
90s.
mid to late 90s,
Yeah, the original
and
anime was like in 1999, if I recall.
yeah,
But it
they did
only
an OVA, yeah,
yeah,
but
but it only covered like up to York New City arc.
yeah, it did, and then this
Yeah,
one went all the way up to
to the election arc.
to the election arc, where supposedly goes into the succession war, which well, if the rumor is true that Tagashi is, you know, coming back, or it has allowed someone to continue working on it,
If
then
anything, it would be Takeuchi.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, I mean that's always has been a thing, even like in classical literature or in video games or in anything. There's always one character, if there is a monarchy, that is like, I am doing this for the good of the monarchy. Which I'm like, why? What do you benefit from it? And like literally, Bishop and Shiapoof were exactly that. Like, what is your benefit that the king is revived, or we get a king? What do you get out of it? Besides,
Or rather going behind King's back to like kill that one person they actually cared about.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, like because even like Meruem and Saga, they were both affectionate towards a woman that the bishop and Shiapoof did not approve of. So they try to go out of their way to sabotage the
Mm-hmm.
that love interest in, for the greater good of the king, and the king gets pissed off, and then
Well,
Shia and then the bishop slash Shiapoof was like, "Why?
wait,
I did it for you."
I forget. I know that
Mhm.
Shiapoof hated Kamugi. Definitely. I don't recall if he did something to her or if he actually physically killed her. I don't, because I know she didn't. Like
He
it didn't.
didn't.
It
He
like
tried to get
yeah.
Neferpito to kill her for him,
Mm-hmm.
while Meruem was still had amnesia. And when that failed, he tried to keep Meruem from regaining his memories because he was worried that if he like remembers Komugi, he's gonna lose his kingly instinct.
Okay, because I mean, I don't quite remember if it was that assassination and failed, or he like drugged her. I don't remember, but I know like everything else that happened with that story. But yeah,
It's more like Komugi was like she was accidentally mortally wounded by Zoldyck. What's his name? Xeno Zoldyck, I think his name was, like the grandpa.
the old
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
yeah. But like the thing is, it was under the king's orders that Neferpito was supposed to like heal her, but it's
They
like
never, but they never did.
But yeah, Poof to like try to like take advantage of the opportunity to like let her succumb or kill her himself, which also failed because what's his name? Because what's his name? Killua has that Godspeed thing going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is at that point with this, but of course, even so, it's like the whole plan of what Bishop is doing to try
Mhm.
to revive the king or try to get him back. I was like, well, that kind of came out of nowhere. That kind of
Well,
like,
it wasn't 100% out of nowhere. Like it seemed out of nowhere the first time I watched it, but like rewatching, it's like okay, I see the very moment that he came to that conclusion. Kind of like that scene with Bart Simpson. It's like if you freeze frame, you can see the exact moment his heart broke. Boop 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 boop. There it is.
yeah. All right, so let's get into this review officially then.
All right, so freaking what's it called? Okay,
So
so
we got
Saga is mad.
my Saga's mad. Mio is dead,
Yeah,
officially dead.
blames it on Wataru, even though
Blames it
technically
on it's her own damn fault. Okay, like dumb bitches, dumb clams be dumbing. But
it's like this. It's like throughout the entire season, she's been trying to drive a wedge between these two brothers. It's like I can't stand to see these two brothers getting along. So it's like, what if I drive one final wedge with my dying breath just to really stick it to it by
that's
making one angry at the other for killing me, even though it's all my own stupidity.
that's what I mean with her. And even though we know it was Bishop who inevitably wound up being a factor in Mio's death, you know, it's like her actions just made it even worse for Wataru and for Taiga. More so for Taiga because of certain things that are gonna come up soon.
Yeah. Yeah, so during the confrontation, Jiro intervenes in order to send Wataru back in time. It's like if you want to change history, you could totally do that. I'm sending you 22 years back in time.
Where did Jiro come from? It's like I thought you guys couldn't leave the damn castle, but apparently
Except for the one time where Iksa went 22 years back in time.
Yeah, I'm like, where did you come? I mean, okay. It's like, oh, you could go back in time, and that's why I don't know. It's a blink and you'll miss a moment because I think that's what I did. I went to go grab a drink of water, and I came back. I'm like, then we cut to '86 where Yuri and Otoya they're in the hospital.
Yeah, but before we get to that, let's just quickly go over like some of the stuff that's going on concurrently in 2008. It's very simple. Everyone's upset Shima's dead, and so Naga wants to take over his position to the point that he even starts doing the whole body fat competition with Sensei, and of course he loses right away because it's like he's not ready. He's not ready, but he wants to be ready, and he wants to start by getting Megumi's approval. But of course, like she's like, you're too egotistical. Like you can't take a hint. Can't take a hint. And
which again, put little pins in this conversation, ladies and gentlemen, because we're getting to the end to the point where we're like, wait a minute, what happened? Like what? How? Why? What? It's like, yeah, I thought they hated each other. I'm like, I guess not.
Yeah. So naturally, he's confronted by Bishop, who says, "Okay, so I killed the defective queen because turns out, so she's gone. Wataru, the only other person who could test the king's position, he's heartbroken. So that's done away with. So now the only thing keeping." Taiga from being able to fully rule is the Azor organization. So all I got to do is kill you, and we're good. But of course, we're starting to notice some issues with Iksa at this point, and it has, we're gonna basically he's Roy Mustang. I'm just gonna keep it simple.
Oh,
he's Roy Mustang.
He needs to see a doctor, quote unquote.
Yeah, and of course, he reveals to Taiga. It's like, hey, Taiga, why are you so upset? It's like, because Mio's dead. Why wouldn't I be upset? Well, she was a defective queen, and I know she's gonna hold you back. That's why I killed her. And he says it so casually.
He said it flat out. He just 100%. It's like. It's kind of like it's like you ever see those videos online, and God knows why people post them. I think they're all fakes about like the like someone, whether it be in a loving relationship or not, or like a family relationship, takes something that someone loves or like a hobby they love to do, or something that just like brings meaning to their life, and then they come home and destroy it for no reason. And their reason being is because, well, I didn't like it. I don't that doesn't fit with my image for what you should be doing
Yeah.
since I am blah 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 in your life. So I got rid of it. And
Or
is
or
it
or even
is
more
it a
petty when it's like when like someone destroys a massive flat screen TV in front of someone. Why'd you destroy the TV? Because I got you a new TV. Why'd
well
you have to
that's
destroy this one?
that's the thing. It's like where Bishop was like, oh, it could have been like he brought in another Fangai or another because apparently like I don't know, does it have to be a pearl? I don't think it does.
No, I think it's
I
just a rebirth thing.
I
But
guess so, but it's
but the thing is, it's like, but here's the thing: it's not very consistent as to like how the whole transferring of ranks works because Bishop stayed Bishop the whole time. We never see
mm,
another Bishop. Freaking what's his name? Rook, like he died, but instead of having Rook go to another person, like he just respawns, same character, just with amnesia. But like for Queen, it's like it transferred to another person. So you'd think that like okay, so at least we know that like Maya's alive. She just lost her queen power, so it has to be someone else. But that's someone. So even if that someone else wasn't born yet, and like it's kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's like so does the rank like force you to be a specific Fangai, or so it's like oh every rook has to be lion, every bishop has to be swallowtail, every queen has to be pearl shell. But then you have King, because King from 86 is a bat, but Taiga is a snake, and Watcher was a dragon. So that feels like a total disconnect right there.
I personally don't. Well, let the show creators try to explain that one because
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I kind of just feel like, well, we have, instead of creating a whole new suit because we're already at the end game, let's just take this one and just color it a different color because there's really no difference between Maya and Mio in terms besides color. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I digress. But
Yeah. So Taiga does not take it very well. It's
oh,
like
I'm not again.
you
I mean,
killed Mio. I thought Watcher. Yeah. See, here's the thing: when he Rider kicked her off the cliff, she kind of survived,
mm-hmm,
but she
but
did not
I
lose
can.
her will to live just yet. So I had to take that will from her by killing her.
I feel as though this should have been like, how many people rag on the why Padme like just died in Star Wars. Like, wouldn't it have been like something if like while she was like maybe I don't know, Palpatine came up and found her and then maybe poisoned her or did something to her that was like her death was inevitable. She just kind of dies. She gives birth and just dies. Like that's it. The will. I'm like, so not your children, but because of your hidden boy toy, that's why you die. In terms of
Yeah.
Neo, it's like, yeah, you're right. But it's actually something about that. Yeah, he came in and kind of just shot her in the face because, like, oh, you're not dead yet. Oh, well, that's not good at all. And just
Yeah.
and just like and then I'm like
Now
also
tell
like
me.
what to do? You couldn't jump down the cliff too. I'm pretty sure you would have landed safely, but you had to go the long way around.
Yeah, it's like so it's like Bishop saying, it's like, so Mio, have you ever read the works of Yoshihiro Togashi? You see, I particularly like the series Hunter x Hunter. Let's do some role play. I'll be Shia LaPoof, and you will be Komugi. Except this time, Merowyn won't be around to save you.
Yeah, just one. I'm like, well, good. Sucks, but good.
Mhm. Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm like, was it any surprise to you, Bishop, that Taiga did what he did? I was actually like surprised that he's looking at him like, why? Why? Again, I did it for you. And I'm like, are you? I mean, this is the thing with these characters, and I'm like, yeah, you thought it was a good idea.
But if you just keep your mouth shut.
If you kept your mouth shut, yeah, would have been a great idea. But it's like, again, Shia LaBeouf, what would have happened if Merriwim did found out? You would have died. Yeah. Bishop, you are going to die. Mm-hmm. Because you did it.
Yeah, and it was at that point, at that very moment, that Bishop figured, you know what, Taiga, you too are also defective as king. I'm gonna bring back the old king. Yeah. Make Fangires great again. 2008.
Yeah. Which I was like, you know, that was actually a very interesting concept that we had way back when in the beginning of this series of like resurrecting fallen Fangires, maybe giving them an alternate form, like kind of like, you know, like zombie-esque, like they're alive but then come back as zombies, which is like that's why Kiva needed to use the weapons or the Emperor form or even the sword. But no, it's like now, oh yeah, I forgot we could resurrect them and these giant jellyfish.
That's literally what happened with Shima because that's like Chimera machine that was used in episodes 36 and 37. Like it was was it? No, 38 and 39. Like it was used to like bring Shima back to life by like transferring the Fengire energy of the Sun Gazer onto him. It's just we for some reason decided to do it on a human instead of a Fangire, but somehow it apparently worked. But so like I'm not surprised this thing happened. It's just that I thought you specifically needed the Mantis Fangire to get this done because you know he's death.
Yeah, but apparently no. Apparently every Fangire is able to do this if they are. Not even collect the remains, only if you know how to do it.
Yeah,
because again,
like even Watcher has like a single shard of Mio.
Yeah, and I was like, well, no, can't bring Mio back. And I'm like, would we want to bring Mio back? No, not really.
It's like you're gonna bring Rook back.
You'll bring Rook and everyone else back, but like I kept an eye open in these scenes if Mio or if the Pearl Fangire did make an appearance. Like, no, they did not. So I was like, okay. I was like, ooh, that's not good.
Yeah. So now that we know what's been going on while Wataru was missing, let's find out what he's been up to. So. And yes, for almost 90% of the remainder of the conversation, it's just going to be like 86 stuff. And so what ends up happening is that we have a doctor look up Otoy after his recent injuries, and he tells him, hey, you're severely injured. You got to stay for a year. It's like, no, I'm not staying for a year. And this doctor looks suspiciously like Wataru. And I know this aired out of order because it's like, why is Wataru there? But you know me.
Right, well, I'm not a huge fan personally of the whole 3 weeks earlier teaser thing. I feel like, we should start our stories where they begin, not start them where they get interested.
Get out.
What?
Yeah, so that's exactly what we just did. And it's like, and then he meets his real doctor, says, oh yeah, you're totally free to go. Wait, hold on. If you tell me I'm free to go, why does that doctor tell him this is suspicious? And then he meets a fortune teller who says, oh, if you pursue your romantic interests, you will be met with a horrible fate. I make my own fate, Buster. And why do you look familiar? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You look like that doctor that looks like my son from the future that I have no memory of ever meeting. Wait, hold on. If you have no memory of ever meeting me, then how would you know that I exist? Aha! So you are my son that I met that one time I completely forgot existed. See, I was just fooling around, but you confessed. And if Montoya had that kind of insight, impressive. But that's not how the dialogue went. So, yeah.
Again, it was a blink and you'll miss a moment that Wataru, I was like, wait, what is Wataru doing in 86? And it's like, yeah, well, he's there and he's trying to stop the inevitable fornication that will happen to his conception, because apparently in his mind he thinks that if he forbids his mother and his father from getting together, he will never be born and Mio will be alive and safe and blah blah blah. And I'm like,
So basically, he's trying to do like the
he's trying
exact opposite of Back to the Future.
yeah, pretty much. He's trying to just be like, I don't want to be born. I want the literal beyond emo like perspective of like,
I don't want to die, but sometimes wish I've never been born.
Yeah. No, it's literally the extreme emo-ness of, I'm gonna, like, that one event that I am supposedly aware of when I was conceived. I was like, okay, well, we'll get there. But it's like, what? Okay, it may be true. It might be true, but that would mean that even if you weren't born, Taiga is still born, and Mio will still go through the same crap that she went through.
Yeah. What if she just falls in love with another person, and maybe that other person will be a complete human,
or a Fangire? Who knows? But either or, either that, it could be one of those. It could be one of those fates that no matter what the outcome is, even if you are there or not, if she will still wind up being dead.
Yeah, because it's not like Bishop was a fan of hers even when he knew that she was dating Wataru.
Yeah, so either or, she's screwed.
Yeah, and like, I know you want to do the whole It's a Wonderful Life thing, but yeah, let's do It's a Wonderful Life. Let's see. Megumi would have been killed by the horse Fangire. Megumi would be killed by the sheep Fangire. Shizuka might have been killed by the prawn Fangire. Frog Fangire might have lost his ish because he wouldn't be able to like make that second violin with Wataru. Let's see. Kengo would have been killed by the Rhino Fangire, and that's assuming that what's it called? The Spider Fangire wasn't also on the loose. And speaking of which, Spider Fangire would have went after Megumi another couple of times. Would Mio try to stop him? I doubt it. Yeah. So how many times would his friends have been killed? Oh yeah. Also, Nago, like he probably would have been killed by the what's it called? The what's that one Fangire? The crab one?
Yeah.
Definitely Sea Moon Fangire for sure. Because remember, Saga going. So yeah, a lot of people would have died, especially people close to him, if he wasn't there to beat Kiva. And you know, like if we're having a whole Tenseiga thing between Inuyasha and Sesshomaru, yeah, can you imagine how much more dangerous Taiga would have been if he had Kiva the Third?
That I leave that to the artists to do the fan drawings for.
Because let's be honest, like when you're the king, you're entitled to two things. One, the rank of Checkmate King and dominion over all Fangires. And two, the power of the Kiva to become Kamen Rider Kiva. It's clear that because there are two sons who have a legitimate claim to the throne, one of them gets the rank of king because he's the older son and the direct son of the previous Checkmate King. But the other one, to compensate, he gets the power of Kiva. It's kind of like how like Naruto got the sun and moon powers while Sasuke's got the eye powers. Yeah, it's like you gotta split it down the middle. But if there's no water to split down the middle, then that means Taiga would have everything. He would have dominion and Kiva.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
So Wataru is just trying to do like a reverse Back to the Future, where instead of trying to get his parents to hook up to make sure that he himself is born. He's trying to get his parents to break up so that he doesn't become born. Which
either or, Wataru didn't really think it through because throughout the entire episode, not only bumping into his parents but also Yuri and everyone else, it's kind of like he kind of learns that
it's fated.
It's fated to happen. So either or, not to mention like with I can't talk. Yeah, with Yuri, it's like I think he has a moment where he remembers Megami, and he's just like, I can't do this. I'm like, yeah, you're damn right, you can't do this.
Yeah, and like Yuri's like, it's like, I got a gift for you, a breakup, so that you are free to pursue Maya. And meanwhile, the king also has a present for Maya. I am depriving you of your queen rank so you can pursue your relationship with Otoya. Just know, if you do go to Otoya, I'm going to kill Taiga. I know what you're thinking. Am I doing a Kronos thing? Yes, I am. Surely it's not going to play out the same way like it did in Greek mythology. By the way, it's like Uranus tried to kill Kronos because he thought Kronos is going to kill him, and Kronos kills him. And then Kronos tries to kill Zeus, thinking Zeus is going to kill him, and then Zeus ends up killing him. And then there's Oedipus Rex, which I'm not going to go too far into, but yeah, well, it's kind of interesting how in Greek mythology, anytime a father tries to kill his son under the suspicion that the son's going to kill him, the son ends up killing him. Maybe if you were nicer to your son, maybe he won't try to kill you.
But it's never written that way.
Yep. Yep. So
let's see.
Yeah, so they go on a rescue. So before they go on a rescue mission to save Taiga, we do have a moment where, Wataru does turn into Kiva, and it shocks everyone. Wait, how is there another Kiva? I know the king is Kiva, but who's this guy? Why is he turning into Kiva? Also, why is he half human? What's going on? Wait, is he really the son of the queen and Otoya? That makes no sense. What's going on here? And of course, it's like, yeah, now do you understand why you must not date my mom? Yeah, no, if you want me to not date your mom, you're going to have to beat the crap out of me. And so he tries. And then King shows up. It's like, hey, you're the one who doesn't want to be born. Well, there's an easy way for you to do that. Kill your dad.
Yeah, they destroy the Fangar that appears in this episode, and then they just start kicking each other's asses only for the king to show up.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering, Polar Bear, it's just a complete remold of Grizzly. No need to talk about the bird motif. If anything, it's like, it's a condor instead of a vulture or something stupid like that.
Yeah, it's the same. It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, except he's fast.
Yeah. Well, apparently polar bears are one of the fastest bears out there.
Well, they're definitely the stealthiest.
Yeah. So
when polar bears hunt, they actually cover their nose like this, so they completely blend into the snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's a dead giveaway.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how doing the vampire cough turns you into a white ninja.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. In a show, and we're discussing this in a show about vampires, but not ninjas. Hey, it's a polar bear. Deal with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, they have a skirmish. The king is kind of upset because Wataru is kind of holding his own, and Otoya did take a nice hit from freaking king, but somehow he still survives. So it's like, I'm holding on to Taiga. Bye-bye. So naturally they go on a rescue mission.
Yeah, go. Why did you have like baby Taiga with you.
Yeah.
Why? That's the one thing that kind of made me like, wait, why would you? That makes no sense. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So what? So they go on a rescue mission to save Taiga. And even Watcher is in on it because it's like, I want to save my brother. Why? You tried to kill him 2 episodes ago. And
Yeah,
think of it this way. You didn't think it like differently. Like you came back in time to prevent yourself from living so you don't kill Mio. But what if you let Taiga die so that you'd be the only king of Fangires? So then Mio won't be conflicted as to, whoa, you need to kill your own brother. And then you won't have Taiga to jump in the way of when you do that rider kick. Didn't think that went through, did you?
you know,
I just thought of it just now.
He's not that smart. Let's
Yeah.
just put it that way. He's not that smart.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you could try to kill Hitler as a baby, but even then, there's still ways that things could become worse. There's ways it could become worse. And don't get me wrong, I hate the guy. And believe me, if I had the opportunity which would have no chronological consequences, believe me, I'd take the opportunity. But yeah, no, though there are chronological consequences, and that's why rule number 1 of time travel: don't f with time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they go on a rescue mission. It's surprisingly straightforward. Like, weirdly straightforward. So they managed to rescue Taiga, but now you got the what's called the Bat Fang guy, which is King's true form, and let's get into it. His bird motif is the skull of a bird, not any specific bird. It's literally a skull of a bird, and you see 3 of them. Like the wiki only mentions the one that's like on his chest, but also if you really think about it, his chest sort of make the Venetian raven designs that plague doctors use.
Yeah, it was very, very Victorian-esque, very plague doctorish motif instead of, which technically should not be a bird, but it is.
Yeah, and what I find really interesting is how like the bat wings on his head sort of make like hair that resembles Myotismon.
Yeah, he had the the bang game was on him 100.
Yeah, it's like he had that Leon look from Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Myotismon.
or like Sephiroth with his original his original animated like 99 character description, like that kind of bangs. It's like
yeah. You know who looks like Sephiroth? Gedemu Muso form. He's got those really long bangs. Yeah. Yeah, so he's pissed. They fight. Otoya tries to fight as Dark Kiva because Kiva II, the father of Kiva III, says, I'm not a fan of the king. Yeah, I'm required to serve him, but I'm not particularly a fan of his. Honestly, I like Maya better because she's a lot nicer to me. So Otoya, I'm gonna let you become Dark Kiva, but just so you know, as a human, there's a chance you're gonna die.
Yeah, that was one that I was like, wait, really? Seriously? It's like that's what happens to him. It's like okay, not the way I would have wanted him to go, but
yeah. So he uses this 3 times in total. The first time was early in the episode before the rescue mission, where like he does try to fight King as Dark Kiva and fails, but he thankfully survives. But he's in excruciating pain, just like that bathroom scene when he became Ixa.
Oh, but way worse. It's way worse.
Yeah, it's way worse because like it's not just taxing; it's destroying you from the inside.
Oh
it's like imagine giving yourself cancer, in order to save the world. But the more you try to save the world, the cancer becomes more malignant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the second time is outside of Castle Doran in order to fight the Bat Fangar once he saved him, and once he saved Taiga, and also he had one of those giant Fangars to just completely take over the body of Castle Doran like it's a parasite.
Oh yeah. Just clamped onto him, and
it just burrows into all the walls and stuff.
Yeah, and it started attacking. Well, so Wataru goes in, and just I forget what he was doing, but he hears Taiga crying. He hears little baby Taiga crying, and I'm like, again, could have left him there. Could have let him be, because I'm guessing his father just went on a bender and forgot that his child is inside Castle Dora.
Yeah. Also, I appreciate that Otoya does say it's if he is Mio's son, if he's Maya's son, then he is my son. Bro, did you just pull a Piccolo? I love Otoya. This is why I love you.
He made himself even more likable, even though throughout the entire series he is just a philandering creep.
Yeah.
But apparently not. It's I still the whole Otoya and Yuri thing again. I can't explain it to people why. I can't explain it to them why it did not work out. But
I think the previous episode explained it best. Do you hear that? Otoya's music? No, I don't hear it, and that's why he's breaking up with you.
That's so bull. That's so bull.
It
that
is
is
bull.
so bull. Because I did explain that to someone, and then they're like, "That is bullshit writing. That cannot So you can't vibe if you don't feel their vibes, you can't be with them." It's pretty much that's what she's saying.
I mean, isn't that how dating works in general? You have to vibe with each other.
Yeah, back in '86. Nowadays, I don't even know what the heck dating is anymore. Most people are in situationships than they are relationships.
I hate that word, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, look, man, to our lovely audience, you do you. We're not gonna judge you for doing your own thing, but personally, for me, I hate that word situationship. What situation? What ship?
That's what they normally say when it didn't work out. I was in a situationship, and I'm like, you didn't say that before. You didn't it wasn't a situation when you were together, but now because it didn't work out, or one day you just woke up and you know what? No.
I'm not into you. I'm not feeling
it's you auto I don't get it. I really don't. Just again, break it off and that's it. Because I feel as though, as of right now, a lot of people say situationships as to kind of okay, put a bookmark right here because in the likely case, what I'm gonna do doesn't work out, I can come back. Because
no. You want to be in a relationship with someone, but you don't want to call it a relationship. So but the thing is, it's oh, I want us to date, maybe even have physical relationship, but I don't want to put a label on it. But the thing is, by calling it a situationship, you're already putting a label on it. So why just make up a new word when you could just say we're friends with benefits? That's all there is.
You can't, because you be seen as one of those people. You can't. But
it's you try so hard to make polyamory socially acceptable, yet you can't just be open with the fact that you're just poly. Just deal with it. Okay.
Well, even so, not to go on a tangent, but so many people who say about those types of relationships, they never are. And when they do find one that they want to be no, it's me and you, but it's yeah, but you're with someone who has the same train of thought, but you're taking it more seriously than they are.
Yeah.
So you kind of just like shot yourself in the stomach at that point because you want to be serious, but you haven't been for years, and the people that you have been with or that are choosing to be with are on that same page as you. It's like, what what are labels? What are this? But it's like I want it to be real, and it's kind of again this whole relationship between Wataru, Mio, and Taiga. It's
Yeah.
like one wanted to be serious with the other and the other was just fucking them around, and it's just like what, and then you get hurt because the person didn't choose you. It's a total pick me relationship. It's a total pick me situationship
Oh yeah, absolutely.
because it's just like yeah, no, it's like that's just the whole thing. And even the same thing with Maya, Yuri, and Otoya. It's kind of like, well, Otoya was the pick me. You're like every single girl, every single person was like pick me, pick me, pick me, and I was like nope. And then finally, it's like you do, but then it's like out of
I'm not feeling it.
I'm not feeling it, or she's not feeling it, but I am. And it's like, what are you talking about? I live with him. I'm with him. We shop. We sleep in the same bed, like every single morning. Like, but you just randomly showed up, and
Yeah.
it's just like you're making crafting like arts and crafts of all things, and you're like, no, we vibe way more than you two. Despite what you two have gone through, we vibe more. And apparently Otoya just goes with it. And it's just like at that point, I'm like, yeah, but then with the whole like, oh, she has a son, I don't care, he'll be my son. I'm like, you kind of redeemed yourself, but you're still a dick, Otoya.
Yeah. Yeah, if you really think about it, Maya and Otoya are both pick-me's.
Yeah, they are
But
because Otoya was picking everyone while Maya was like, "Oh, I'm the other woman, and I'm gonna go." Which again, why? Again, it was like out of all of them, like you know what? How did they get together? But again, for some reason, she just like, yeah, I want this one, not blah blah blah. But
like I get it from her perspective where it's like this is the one human that made me feel something that I've never felt. But at the same time, it's like yeah, maybe find another human that also makes you feel this way because this one does not belong to you. He belongs
no,
to someone
but
else.
yeah, but didn't understand that, didn't get it. So and in the end, wound up giving up his life for like again we're at that part where apparently both Dark King and Kiva, both Emperor form, are fighting against the king.
Yeah.
There's so many kings here. That well, first off, Otoya fought with Ixa and then got Ixa blown off.
Yeah.
He got stripped of Ixa,
Yeah.
and an arm flew into the lake,
Yeah.
which is like
Put a pin
okay,
on that
yeah, and
for
then
next week.
yeah, for next week. And here comes Wataru, and he does the whole thing, and then Dark King just was like, okay, yeah, let's do it again, and they start fighting. I think like what was it? So they did like the spell binding, and they just kept like ping ponging him back and forth.
And forth, yeah. And then they double rider kicked him.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I do appreciate like how they shot like him getting bitten by Kiva the second. When he like transforms into because again, it's like see like Wataru can tolerate this because he's half Fangire.
Yeah.
But like Otoya is 100% human. Like it would not like this is worse than at this point I am low-key surprised that like Wataru never became Ixa, like high key, because even in Kamen Rider Agito, even Shinichi like turns into becomes Kamen Rider G3. Sure, he only becomes G3 for like 1 or 2 episodes, but hey, even the main writer becomes the second writer for an episode. And if I remember, like AG did too. Like, did AG ever become Kamen Rider Birth at any point? I feel like he did. But
I think so, because there was like there was 2 births, but I think I kind of remember there was a point that there was 3.
Yeah. So there's that, and Yeah, so this is like the third time he uses
Yeah,
Kiva.
this
So,
is the third time in broad daylight. In broad
yeah.
daylight, which again, I was kind of like someone asked me like, so they can become riders in day or night. I'm like, yeah, there's no rule that they don't.
Yeah, I don't recall there ever being a situation where
They
like
only
anyone
strictly at
couldn't.
night.
If anything, it just turns dark when they use their
Yeah,
finishers. Like that's pretty
yeah.
much it. Yeah.
But
So Wataru, he disappears because all's well that ends well. You know, they
yeah,
have
they beat the king. They did that, which is like, oh, okay. They saved Taiga, or Taiga saved them too, which got, I mean, again, a baby. That was how, but okay. And yeah, Wataru just disappears because like the
Oh
whole dwarf.
yeah, Taiga turns into the new king.
Yeah, because again, the old king, like it was already inevitable that yeah, this guy's gonna die. So the crest now goes to the new king, which he was like, what? Like, yeah, you're done. You're over. So
Yeah.
now the new king is born. So it's just like Wataru disappears, and then obviously, the whole thing with Otoya, he just knows, and he goes to both Jiro, Ricky, and Ramon, telling them, to please take care of his son, that blah blah blah. Goes
Oh
to
yeah, like there's like this beautiful scene that literally made me cry where Yuri finally overcomes her fear of dogs, and it's
oh
raining.
yeah.
Yeah,
She
and
goes,
it's like he asks her like for his Oma rice recipe, and she's like, because like, and keep in mind she's a terrible cook, but like he still like would eat her food no matter how bad it is, and it's like.
Mhm.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you 2 eggs, some sugar, a bit of cream, and poison. Ah, poison. I'll be sure to remember to add that." And he like laughs and dances around. It's like you have this beautiful violin music. Oh, and also like there's like an earlier scene in episode 45 where he spanks Wataru, like right after like they got their butts handed to them by King. I'm like. The way he's joking around after getting his butt kicked, it's like I'm gonna miss this guy.
Yeah. He just goes to everyone and just says their goodbyes. And again,
Yeah,
to Yuri, it's like
and
she
you don't.
knew without really knowing what was going
Yeah,
on.
yeah, it's like the sun, like the rain finally ended, and like the sun started shining again. And then like when she turns around, like she sees he's gone. Then he talks to the arms monsters, like, I want you guys to promise me that you're gonna take care of him, my son. Oh yeah? Well, what's gonna make what how do you know we're not just gonna eat him? Oh, I just trust you guys. And then Jiro notices something about Otoya's leg.
Mhm.
You probably never noticed it on your first watch, but I'm like I even have it on record on Instagram, like when I was like watching it like 5 years ago. Like, oh, that really hit me hard. And like, oh man, oh god, no. Like I know, like because I already watched the season, I already knew what was happening, but seeing those telltale signs before it happens, it just hurts more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So like there's that, and freaking
He winds up
uh
having a picnic with Maya and Taiga in the park,
yeah.
which is that like right there in and of itself is just like,
Yeah.
just the goodbye, because it's kind of like, it's over, it's done, and you see him playing the violin, and it's just this heartfelt thing, and Maya's just there, like not much emotion in her face, but you could totally tell she's torn up by it, and
Yeah.
finally just gives those like last words of thank you, and you were amazing and good night. And that is just like, again, we see Otoya on her lap, just like he's asleep, but we know that he has finally passed on.
Oh, here's a wolfen right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Hello. This little guy right here. This little guy right here. It always brings joy to have him here with me. He's such a cutie. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. If anyone ever did interrupt a podcast, I'm glad it's this little guy right here. Yeah. But hold on, let me try to find it. Almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there. Almost there. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But yeah, no, it was really heartbreaking to see like some of these scenes and like I was even like documenting my rewatch of the Heisei era and hold on, let me see if I could find it right over here. Almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there. Just a little more. Yeah, it's just a little more. Why is it? It really is taking a while. Oh yeah, I remember that. It's crazy watching some stuff that like from like 2019. But yeah, no, it's really heartbreaking because like his leg is disappearing. He's bringing a joy to everyone's face, and then he plays that one last song. Very heartbreaking, and I'm tearing up just like thinking about it.
Yeah, but that is it. That is done.
Yeah. Oh, almost there. Oh, here it is. Way over here. The rain scene. Oh, it's breaking my heart watching this again. That violin music! Oh, the sun is clearing up, and he's gone.
It looks like rain, but it's not raining though. Oh, yeah, kind of does.
That intimate moment, and then you start to notice something. Yeah, where is it? Oh man. Oh, it's so well executed.
It's so just.
And he dies peacefully in her arms. It's so romantic, and there's no way Twilight can live up to that. Oh, poor Toya, my heart breaks for thee. No, for real though, I'm really broken up about it because it's like it really hurts. Yeah, so yeah, that's it, and that's where episode 46 ends. Sujet wise, yeah. Unfortunately, we do have to go back to 2008 to cover the rest of it. But like, oh man, oh man, I'm just too broken up about Otoya to like really go into it because I'm glad they ended the episode with Otoya peacefully resting in Maya's arms, like the final scene from Phantom Blood. It's but yeah, we're gonna have to go into it. Watcher comes back. He's got the powers of the king. Because like when Shizuka is about to get attacked by a Fangire, he just glares it down with smoldering intensity.
He came back with Emperor's Hockey, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, Conqueror's Hockey.
He came back with the Conqueror's Hockey because he just looks at these guys and they're just all like kind of shake and back off. And like, yeah.
Yeah, and then what's his name? I don't want to go into this. So we have Taiga visiting the gravestone of Mio. I don't know why, but he's not alone because Wataru also comes to grieve for Mio. If you asked me, good riddance. This is the one thing Bishop got right. But so they're like, we have to settle this so something like this can't happen again. Or, both of you could just date two different women and just, hey, whichever one of you dates a woman first, introduce her to the other so that they'll be smart enough not to go after that same woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because to be fair, when Wataru dated Mio at first, she did not know she was betrothed to Taiga. No. And when Taiga was dating Mio, he did not know that she was already dating Wataru. And also, that part is kind of Mio's fault.
That's Mio's fault. No one else.
Like, she should have said, like, hey, I know we're betrothed, but I was not aware of this, and I started dating a dude, so respectfully, back off.
But she didn't do it.
She didn't do it. She just doubled down in both directions, like in that pendulum that we're not going to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's like, go kill your brother. Why haven't you killed your brother yet? Oh my god, he's finally going to kill his brother. I need to stop him. What?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ugh, God, I can't stand you. So they both transform into Kiva and Saga. They try to fight each other, but it's interrupted by freaking Bishop, who brings a bunch of Fangires back from the dead, and they fight those Fangires, and that's pretty much it. Meanwhile, Nago's dealing with what turns out to be he's losing his eyesight.
Yeah, he's totally losing his eyesight because of what Iksa has been doing to his body.
Yeah, basically, he's Roy Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
You had such a bright future, and you're never going to be able to see it.
Never.
But yeah, so we have that interlude. And then we have the beautiful scene with Otoya peacefully dying in
Maya's lap.
That was very well executed. Like, that entire 1986 side, very well done. Roses all around. It's sad that this part of the story is over, but I'm glad we got to see it all the way through. I only have a few questions. 1, how did Yuri die? 2, who is Megumi's dad? 3, how did Maya lose her eye? 4, why did they not take care of Wataru and Taiga together?
And also, when was the conception even made?
Well, I would imagine it was within the short time period that, like that he had left, like in that short time period when he was saying his goodbyes to everyone.
Like, still, it's just like, wait, the timeline.
Because we don't know how much time passed between Wataru returning to the present to Otoya dying. Because if it's a 24-hour thing, 24 hours is plenty of time. He just needed one more day. But, I know you hate me for saying that, but am I wrong?
Well, I mean, it did, like, again, we don't need to know too much, but apparently there is a manga, and apparently there's also a light novel of this show that has never been translated, but it exists in Japan.
And it's supposed to include the remaining demon races that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. It includes that. It also includes what happened to Yuri, what happened to, where Shizuka played more of a major role in the story. Like, just like every little story that we did not get, they put into these mangas and light novels that have not been brought to the States or have not been well, I mean, gives them no one's actually uploaded anything other than a few rough scans.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like not a lot to go on. But apparently, because they released the Sentai and original Kamen Rider mangas in a hardcover back manga itself, apparently, if the sales were good, we might get more Kamen Rider and Sentai stuff.
I have the first 5 volumes of Kuga. I have the omnibus for the original Kamen Rider. In fact, I read the entire omnibus before I saw Shin Kamen Rider, which is why, like, right after they defeated, Spider Og, I figured out, oh, dang, this is going to be based on the manga, isn't it? oh man, a lot of people are gonna be very pissed off with how this is gonna end. Like, I know. I mean, everyone else knows now, but in that moment in May of 2023, I knew and other people didn't because I actually read the manga and I have apophenia.
But yes, that is the whole thing with what has happened within these episodes.
Yeah, I had my own idea of what they could have done for Megumi, but I'm gonna save that for next week because I think it would be better addressed when we actually finish episode 48.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like leaving most of my commentaries for the end of our finalness.
Yeah. So yeah, thoughts on this on these 3 episodes and scores.
I give it all an 8.
Mm.
For story and just how it all wrapped up, even though there's still many loose bits that have not been even touched. Oh, it's an 8. It's all an 8.
Yeah, I would say 9, 10, 10. Because actually no, like 9, 9, 10, because the only thing keeping episode 45 from being a perfect 10 is literally the 2008 side where freaking Bishop reveals that he was the one that killed Mio. Like, if they just left that part out, it would have been otherwise perfect episode. And as I said before, the way these 3 episodes conclude the entire 1986 storyline was near perfection, and it doesn't even need to fit a woman because it already does. That woman's name is Yuri. She deserves better than what she got. Maya was well executed. Otoya, I'm gonna miss this guy. Like, freaking hell. Like, oh man, like, as you've seen from those clips from Instagram, like during my watch every episode of Kamen Rider Journey back in 2018 through 19, it's like it hit hard, dude. Like, it hit really hard. It hit hard 5 years ago. It hits hard now. And I can't believe I've watched Kiva twice over the course of 5 years. It's perfectly timed.
It's been 4 for me. It's the 4th time I've watched it.
Yeah. And the previous time before that was 10 years prior because technically I finished in 2009 because January. It's a marginal thing. It's like how they try to make Ryu Soldier like the first season of Super Sentai in the Reiwa era, just to say, oh yeah, we had a dinosaur Sentai in every generation.
And now we're gonna have, well, Reiwa has been interesting with its Kamen Riders, honestly. Like, not everything. I kind of like, where they started off with 0-1, which that's where I seriously believed a lot of their riders were going to be. It was like simplistic. Let's keep an homage to Ichigo and to not Kuga. The first rider of the new series or the new era. Wasn't Kuga. It was
technically Black RX.
No. I mean, like within the like the millennium when they finally started putting them back on TV.
That was Kuga.
Oh, was that Kuga? Okay, because
yeah.
I was like, wait,
I was wondering, like, do you mean the '90s movies with?
Yeah, because I was like, wait, it was Kuga, then it was
I got you. Kuga, Agito, Ryuki, Five Blade, Hibiki, Abuto, Deno, Kiva.
I always got those. I was like, wait, I thought it was Agito that was first. I was like, no, it's Kuga. But
you know what's funny is when I first saw the 2 characters, I accidentally had their names switched, so I thought Kuga was Agito and Agito was Kuga because they were like very similar looking.
Yeah, that's my problem. Is that I think they're so similar that I'm like, oh no, wait, that's because after that, be as it may, they started to like differentiate like the styles and looks of the Kamen Riders. Like,
Yeah,
of course,
with
you gotta go with Ryuki and the Fies, and okay, Fies is another one that I forget because I was like, go Ryuki, then Blade, and I'm like, wait, there was one in between.
No, what's really confusing is that it's called 555, but it's the 4th season.
Yeah, again, why? But it's like,
and what's even crazier is that the 555th episode of Kamen Rider was like back in it's hold on. Let's see. Let's see with Kuga, it's gonna be like 499. So with Agito. Yeah, like early Ryuki will be the 555th episode.
Well, there you go. It sounds the same thing even with Decade.
Yeah.
That technically it's not like the Decade is like apparently was supposed to be well, it was supposed to be double, wasn't it? Like Decade was literally like early or because
they ended it earlier.
No. I mean like when they say like Decade, oh, that means like it's the 10th Kamen Rider. It's like, no, he's not. He's not the 10th Kamen Rider.
Yes, he is.
Is he? I could have sworn it was someone else.
Yeah. Kuga, Agito, Ryuki, Fies, Blade, Hibiki, Kabuto, Deno, Kiva. Final Kamen Rider. Decade.
Because there was something about like how like supposedly he wasn't. Like
I think it's more to do with like GO where they show 18 rider watches, but it's literally like the first 19 riders minus Decade because Decade's rider watch is a little bit different because it's his mid form, sort of.
I guess, but I could have sworn there was something with Decade that even official Toei people were like, no, technically, like he's not, but it's like technically Decade is not an anniversary series or not.
He is though.
I don't know. I have to look that one up.
He has a giant X on his chest for 10, and like
I'll have to look it up and I'll let you all know.
Turns into the past 9 riders.
I'll have to look it up because I remember something that I saw officially from them that they're like, no, technically he's not. But again, it could be, just I might have misheard it.
He's not the first full season Kamen Rider. Sorry, he's not the 10th full season Kamen Rider because he only had like the 31 episodes. But it's more to do with like with Bandai wanting to sell more toys throughout the production cycle. Because it's like when they start off their toy cycle in the first quarter by having, both shows start in like late January, early February. It's like they have a lot of sales in February, but then they have very few sales in like the third quarter because by that point it's like, yeah, we already released the second Megazord and the 6th Ranger and the 2nd Rider's belt and the final form toy, so like the third or final quarter is like usually like dead in terms of toy sales. But then but because they moved Kamen Rider to third quarter, that means that first quarter you have like the first Sentai toy, like the Morphers and stuff. Second quarter is when you have like the 6th Rangers stuff. Third quarter you have a new Kamen Rider season, so you have like a new influx of rider belts and toys and stuff. And then fourth quarter it's like maybe 2nd Rider shows up, kind of like towards the end, very very end of fourth quarter. But yeah, so there's like something fresh every half year, so there's like not a single quarter during the toy cycle that is stale, dry, like slow or whatever term you want to use, because they're doing semesters now instead of like full cycles. simultaneously.
Mhm.
But in order to do that, they needed a season of Kamen Rider to be really, really short to justify the next season starting in September, and that season was Decade. If you really think about it, Hibiki would have been a better candidate because they changed writers midway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not hating on Toshiki Inouye. I love him in Kabuto and Faiz and Kuga. I just don't like him in Hibiki.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, so for me, yeah, like we went into like our scores, and again, like my issue is 2008 plot. It's if Bishop just kept his mouth shut, I would have had more respect for the 2008 story, and with that, I would have had. Also, like, why are you still mad at Wataru now that you know that Bishop is the one that killed Mio? That's the other thing.
Yeah, but Wataru takes it all on himself, now doesn't he? He just does.
Yeah.
That's his problem. He's too.
All right, let us know what you guys thought.
Yeah, come on, people. Let us know. Are you with us? Is Wataru a fuckboy? Is he a simp?
He's a pick-me. Can't wait to see Kabuto and Steve go at it again this week. One of my favorite things to look forward to during the weekend. Oh, we appreciate that.
Of us just going at it, just like, okay, here you go. You know, let us talk about
Mio hate is real.
Let us talk about men in spandex. Well, not this. This is more armor since the Kamen Riders haven't have
It's
actual.
not spandex.
It's not spandex. They're not googly eyes. They're sensors. They're scanners. And what's with the giant explosion in the back? Like, if I'm in the kitchen,
It's an energy field that needs to be cleared in order to complete your transformation.
So I actually posted on a short on Instagram, and someone sent it to me because they were like, "That's your IG page, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." Apparently, I've hit like I think I'm hitting over like 300 or 400 likes on that one comment because it's like it pretty much states like, I know that RPM is this post-apocalyptic Skynet Terminator type show that they try to make it seem like super serious, but the fact that they themselves are calling out the bullshit of their own arsenal and weaponry, and also like how sometimes they go from like serious situations to really comedical things, it's like, yeah, you can blame the Japanese for that. Just look up Go Oncher.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, like totally night and day, which I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that whole thing. And again, I know I've also, as I said, I've gotten comments from people like, if you like, why are you so harsh on Toko? If I'm like, I am rough on it because I love it so. You cannot deny that you like watching Tokusatsu. If you take it to, it's like anything, anime, comics, video games, they're for entertainment purposes. So, I mean, if you love something, I mean, you rake on it, but you love it in the same way. It's like, well, someone can tell me that Kiva is like the worst Kamen Rider series of them all, and I'm like, I get what you're saying, but I don't disagree with you, but I totally agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, to quote a 9-year-old kid from 2014 who would now mathematically be 2019, Go Kaijus for kids!
Yeah, in that video, bless Zephyr for doing all that for us.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Which again, it's like, well, where was he wrong?
Yeah, it is.
Where was he wrong? Like, where was he wrong? It's like, what? Like, you know, like, where was he wrong? Where was this kid wrong? You're right. It is a kid's show. It is.
Power Rangers for adults.
Yeah. Go Kaijus for kids and Power Rangers are for adults.
Yeah.
Now we don't have that. And well, either or, I'm like, you know what? I actually like the 2017 Power Rangers movie. I wish that they had continued that. I really do.
I liked it at first, but ended up hating it. But it's because, like, I feel like if they just added one more scene to the movie, a very specific scene, it would have been better.
I for what we got, I think it was good, and I was like, no, give us another one. I want to know. You got my money, but again,
what I was thinking is that for the third one, like it would reveal that that King Tutankhamun would actually be a Triforian. So then they would have to revive a mummy and then use the Zeo crystals to like fully revive him. So like it'll turn out the Great Pyramid of Giza was actually Pyramidas the whole time. But save that for the third movie because there's supposed to be 7.
Apparently.
But yeah, Project Gunger? No, it's Go-Onger. Ground Outdoor Operational Network General Purpose Explorational Rover.
Yeah, they actually made Go-Onger.
Yeah.
But again, it's you gotta have fun with this, and that's the same thing. I mean, if would you want us to review a Kamen Rider series and just be like, tactical and like, oh yes, the cinematography and this, it was just perfect. It was just like this story was just like, no, even we're like, I love you, Kiva, I love you, Wataru.
Yeah.
But I want to see more Shizuka.
Yeah.
Why are you here? And it's just like, and it's just like, why was Yuri or why was Mio so stupid? I'm like, you know what? That's something that, I mean, again, if anyone has access to to find the light novel and the mangas of Kamen Rider Kiva that were released around the time that this was made, and if you can send those to us, we will. I will. I would love to read them and just be like, okay, there. It says that there are so many things that were not answered in this show that are in these books. So I would love to get my hands on them.
Yeah. But yeah, so to continue, sad to see these things finally wrap up in 1986 timeline. Much like you, that's the side I've grown attached to. Yeah.
No, because
Latoya carried.
Again, I don't understand why they didn't just do this whole series focusing on 86.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like it would have made more sense.
Yeah, you could even make it you could even make it a lead up to Decade. Like what if instead of having Wataru just exist, what if Tsukasa Kodoya turned out to be Otoya's son? And now he has to deal with being the 10th Heisei Rider. I mean, I'm not saying it like that's what we should do, but the thing is, it's like, there's ways around it to like bring it back to the present day without making like a slightly less terrible version of Twilight. Yeah. All right. Okay. Almost there, guys. Just one more week, and you got another season of Kamen Rider completed for the record books, or should I say, for the archives? Yeah, definitely. Follow our other channel. Yeah. All right, moving right along. Triple OXYZ says, "I love watching you guys just go off on tangents and having fun on this podcast. It would be cool to have Steve show up for Gotchard on Wednesdays."
Even though I have not seen anything of Gotchard, and apologies that I didn't answer the call when you sent me that message. I was actually doing something that my phone had died.
Yeah.
So I didn't get until I finally charged my phone, and I was like, "Oh, what?" But again, I have not, in terms of Kamen Rider or Sentai, I have not caught up with anything of this Reiwa era. Like I have not seen anything of Reiwa. So
good news is
talking
about
01
and Geats both available on Shout Factory, Tubi TV, Pluto TV.
I just see that on Tubi. Tubi they have 01, and I think Geats is also on there too.
Yeah,
which I'm like, but I'm like, wait a minute. So it was 01, and then Saber. So
yeah, it was 01, Saber, then Revice, then Geats, and Gotchard.
Yeah, we skipped over 2 riders just to go straight into Geats.
I will say this: no one expected the next season to be brought to the US was going to be Geats because it literally just ended in Japan.
It just was over, and it's just like, but again, the hype and the reading of what this show was,
was
just
My
like
Hero Academia meets Squid Game.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's what I'm like. Okay, all right. So I will. I mean, 01 and Geats are on the watch tab for that.
Yeah.
But in terms of anything else like Sentai or any other tokusatsu other than Blazar, I've not seen too much. So my commentaries on Bombunjer or Gotchard, besides well, just what social media has been talking about. I'm not one to follow what people say, but I'm like, I so far what we thought was going to be a train wreck with Bombunjer is actually like being loved and accepted.
Yeah, it's
As
like
for Gotchard, where we were like, "Oh my god, this looks great! This looks amazing!" It literally has become like
it's the ghost of this
it's
year.
it's the Excalibur from Soul Eater.
Eater.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch Gotchard, and they just like, I'm like, what's wrong? Like, you'll find out. And I'm just like, and I'm like, well, it doesn't have a pedigree. It's got like the writer from Madoka Magica and all these great, like, yeah, but
Yeah, you know how Toshiki Inoue like did a great job writing Kuga, Faiz, Kabuto, and Dom Brothers. Yeah.
it's kind of
Well, don't watch
well,
Hibiki.
it's kind of like the whole thing, even with like, you remember how like, how like when you were starting off and everyone was like, we went from O's to Forze to Wizard, and then we went into Drive. Oh no, into Gaim and Drive, and how you thought that both Gaim and Drive were just like the most stupidest looking things ever, but it turns
But then
out that
it was amazing. Yeah,
they were both they were both
Kamen
amazing.
Rider as like Fruit Ninja as a Kamen Rider, and it turns out to be badass.
Yeah, it turns out to be
he
badass.
drives a car.
He drives. Oh yeah, the massive backlash that he got from like, wait, a Kamen Rider driving a car? What? And then it's like, oh my god, cars! Oh yeah,
Especially the part where that one Roid Mute watched that one anime with that one character. It's like truly a work of a masterpiece.
Yeah,
and that Ghost has like this promising idea. It's like
Ghost had a very interesting idea that I was like, oh, but then I found out from like so many, because again, didn't watch Ghost either. It just like no. Even though some people are like, no, if you like it, that's great. I would love to hear why you like it, and I'll see it. And I'm like, okay, I'll put a pin in this comment. But yeah, it all just kind of was like, it's not that I wouldn't. I just have not gotten around to see it. That's why I felt bad this past Japan World Heroes that I became friends with, or like I became on a first name basis with the Ultraman and the Kamen Rider that were there, along with Solsuke.
Yeah.
And the thing was, is the only one I knew was Solsuke, and I felt so bad. I was like, I wanted to watch a guy, and I told the actors, it's on my list. I have not seen it, but it's like, but he noticed I had the Durin lock seat on my bag, and he was just like, no, you should totally. No, I will. And if you come back to Japan, if you come back to America, I promise you, I will know how to speak to you. And not, well, it was nice because it was actually just like two people talking, as how it should be, But yeah, I will, maybe on the next Kamen Rider series that comes out, because as of right now, I'm not liking what I'm hearing from Gotchard.
Yeah, like for me, like it was like really, and like we even discussed this when we talked about Ultraman and the Blazar for the first time. It's like part of it like really hurts to me that like the first of the three actors to be like super friendly to me was Takashi Yoshioka, because while I appreciate it, Ultraman's the one series I am not familiar with, much less this specific season, because it's like at least because at the time, at least with Tiga, I watched like 3 non-consecutive episodes. To be fair, the latter 2 episodes were episodes 5 and 6, but like I went from episode 1 to episode 6 back to 5 and haven't seen any other episodes. Ginga, I only saw the first 3 episodes. The original which is
Well, I saw. Well, apparently, what I saw was like the OVA, which was to set up to the original or to the actual show itself. Because I was like, wait, what? What? I was like, no, yeah, totally, yeah. Not to mention, our girl. Oh my God, what's her name? It blanked me. Because I found out that she was actually a trifecta actress. From Build.
Right.
Not Misora. It's
Sawa.
Sawa. Yeah, Sawa. She was in Blaze. She was in Ginga. She was in Ginga. She was in Rio Soldier. She was in a previous Ultraman that I can't remember, and she was like, she's done the trifecta. She's been on all three shows as a like main supporting character, which not many actors or actresses have done.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's again, I need to get caught up because I'm loving some of these concept arts and some of the rider gimmicks, except for Gotchard, which I kind of, when I found out what they were doing, I was like, okay, now you're just splitting hairs at that point.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, you didn't even do that with the other gimmick riders that I'm like, really? But with this one, I'm like, oh, that's evil. I don't even think Blade was so thirsty when it came down to getting the cards, you know?
Yeah, or Decade for that matter.
Or Deck, yeah, they just kind of just bundled them together. Now you're just like,
yeah, like Ryuki, like he already had all his cards, he just did not use them all right away.
Yeah, but now it's like you're trying to go the Pokemon route of like, oh, you gotta buy boosters now, but like, well, what if I already have these?
Gotta buy.
This is not. Yeah, it's not a card game. It's a gimmick.
Yeah, see at least with Gamba Ride, it's like at least there was an actual card game, sort of.
Yeah, there was, but it's like this one, I've heard nothing, which
Yeah,
I'm just like, okay.
Heck, I even tried to make an actual TCG out of.
See, that's the thing that I said with Gotchard, you know, it's probably my review of Gotchard right here is that like your whole premise of like if there's no TCG attached to your cards, then what are the point? It's pretty much just collecting them to finish off the gimmick that you guys have made.
Yeah,
but
and the thing is, the first 100 out of 101 cards are already released. Yeah, now it's like adding other ones like, oh, Daybreak versions, oh, Mad Wheeler version, oh, the Dread versions.
The previous riders that, you know, are like you always do with these type of. That's why I was like, yeah, not my thing.
At least with the previous riders, they introduced a character to explain those.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, okay, but we got to go out and buy them, but you can't just go out and get them, or they sell them in a box that is pretty much like specifically for that. You have to go out and like just constant, like, no.
Yeah, you can't even get individual packs. You have to get like the full box.
Yeah. So no. Blessings to all of y'all who are going through that right now, because I've seen supposedly what his final form is.
I just want like the 101 basic cards, maybe the 2 platinums, and the egg thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much it. Like, I do not care for like getting like the alchemist thing, like that Rene uses, but like it's the new Ghost. That's all I'm gonna say. It's the new Ghost, and it just disappoints me because 1, it's an anniversary season, and 2, because it centers around alchemy, and I love alchemy. I love the history, the culture behind it. And if you want to hear me go off on that, just watch my previous episode of it. And like, actually, there have been multiple episodes where I went off on it, but like last week in particular, it's like I wasn't as angry as much as I was just wordy. But let's move on. We still have 2 comments left. I can't wait to see the reveal of what the next season you are doing. I hope it's Hibiki. Just chain that cast. Yeah. It's like
that's the thing. I mean,
It's like, yeah, Jiro does play Zonky.
If it does, then I'm like this wheel is rigged. How many slots are on that wheel? Or
We
is it
started
only
with like every season was listed on there, like from 71 to 01, except for Black RX.
So pretty much all the Kamen Riders are on the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, except for like the anniversary ones where like you have to like watch the previous several episodes. Like, so like for example, like Stronger won't be there because you have to watch the original V3X and Amazon first.
I would have thought we would have gone with like eras or something like that. You know?
And like there won't be and Black RX is not on there because you have to first watch Black.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Decade's not on there because you have to first watch the first 9 seasons of the Heisei era. And Geo won't be on there until we watch all 19 seasons, including Decade.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So Geo will likely be very later down the line.
So pretty much it's like every single Kamen Rider from Ichigo all the way up to... Well, not Gotchard, but 01.
Yeah,
just up to 01. We're not doing Revise or Saber.
We already did that on the main podcast.
Did we? Oh, well, I wasn't there.
Well, yeah, you weren't there.
Yeah, I was.
We were.
Okay,
so 5 years.
Okay, so you guys already did Reverse and Saber.
Yeah,
and
Geats.
Yes. And Geats.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have the Rider Time podcast.
Okay, because I was like, wait a minute. But okay. Well, again, we'll see because there are ways to watch them. Some of them are more harder than others.
Some just take more time than others, but you know, it's there. It's there. You know, like we're on our 5th anniversary of our main podcast, and we're like the archive. Like it exists so that we could go back to the older seasons. So you're not like, oh, when are you going to go back and discuss the older seasons before 2020? We're doing it. We're doing it there. Like we're doing it right now.
It's actually happening, and you know like, we do it because you don't have to.
We did Black Sun. We did Amazon. So we got those Amazon series out of the way, and we did Shin Kamen Rider. You know. I guess a movie review.
Like now out on Prime Video for those who don't know.
Yeah, and we did build. We're almost done with Kiva, so that's 2 seasons down. We got like 28 more to go.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know Seto was in 3 versions of The Ring.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we'll be done in 7 years.
We'll be done in certain times. Honestly, let's see here. Well, yeah, no, it'll be quite a time. I promise you that. Once we get there, if we do get there, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and like on the Rider Time archive, you know, like we got 7 more years of content, you know, before we go back to doing the VSNXs and TTFCs of the Reiwa era. And then once we get to that point, it's like, yeah, there's going to be fewer archive videos. They won't be completely gone, just more sporadic, like so that we could revisit like the next new TTFCs and VSNX when they finally have an official release. But to be fair, again, that's a lot of content in 7 that can come out within 7 years. So
our brains will be coming out of our ears taking in that much content.
Yeah, and once we're done with that, yes, we can go back to doing older seasons of Power Rangers and Super Sentai. Although it would be nice if, like, we had some of our veteran members come back to, like, help us out with that so we don't have to do all the heavy lifting on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, last comment of the night. There, Kabuto. Yeah, I'm sad about Otoya. I just got to deal with it. You know, it is what it is.
He went out the way he lived, a cuck.
but a very flamboyant one.
A one that will in what is it, 10 years time come back to reprise his shenaniganery in another series that again will make us have the feels.
But weirdly enough, look 10 years younger. Which means that
again, you know, that's why people tell me when I go to Japan, like, can you look into those into those products for me? Because what the heck are they doing over there? I'm like, I know, right? I should always be looking into that.
Yeah, you know, like in 4 years, he's
and apparently
it's
common over the counter lotions and skincare products.
Yeah, like in 4 years, Kohei Takeda is gonna look like a 12-year-old.
Yeah. What I forget the anime, but there's like apparently the main character created a form that all people in the future look like 12-year-olds. Like, well, mostly the women, like they're all like 20, 30, 40 years old, but they all have the bodies of like 12-year-old girls.
Sounds like a really weird.
Which apparently the person that came from the future told his entire class, and they're like, "That's amazing," but they look at him like he's such a lech because it's just like, wait, why only make them look like they're 12? Like, you're 15 right now. It's, I don't know, it's just a side effect. You look young, but you. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Wait. It was Dokuro-chan. If you ever see the anime Dokuro-chan, it's literally that. It's like, I don't know what it is over there, but they really do take care of themselves.
All I know is that in the movie In Time, when you turn 25, you have a 25-year counter that starts ticking downward. And like that's your like remaining lifespan, and you have to use that lifespan as your currency. So like if you're uber rich, you could go hundreds of years looking like a 25-year-old. Oh, that's the other thing. You never age, so everyone looks 25.
I would probably just reel it back to like my late 20s, early 30s. Just be like, yeah, no, I feel more confident this way. Looking like a 21-year-old, no thanks. No one takes you seriously.
Yeah, no, I wish I had like the youth of my 20-year-old self, but with the physique of my 30-year-old self. Wait, no, hold on. No, sorry. The youth of my 21-year-old self with the physique of my 31-year-old self. I need to be very specific because, you know, because if I'm not very specific, it's like, oh no, I'm gonna be like morbidly obese again. I don't but yeah, no, like that's it for the comment, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and share our videos because it helps us out with the algorithms. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for latest videos. We do Ultraman Rube on Mondays, Gotchard on Wednesdays, Boom Boomger on Thursdays, and yeah, this week Gotchard's gonna be on Friday instead of Wednesday, and then we're gonna continue Gotchard on Wednesdays in subsequent weeks. This upcoming Sunday, we have the final episode of Kiva, and yes, we're going to spin the wheel and figure out what the next season is going to be. Oh
boy!
Ghost, not Ghost,
you know what? Ghost. I'm not slandering on anyone who loves Ghost or loves Ghost, who loves Hibiki, who loves God, what else? What else is on the bad radar that I've heard throughout the years? Surprisingly, Wizards up there too. Or even be as it may, let's see where it lands. But I am just gonna be like, what the F? If for some reason we get like a chain link again, where it's like an actor that we have covered in this series is involved again in the series that we are getting involved in.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is, if we do the original Kamen Rider, we're gonna have to do like 14 installments of 7 episodes because
that is a lot. Again, those are, oh man, get the coffee ready. Get the onigiri and tea because we're gonna be here a while.
My favorite is jelly filled.
Surprisingly, I went to try that one place in Little Tokyo that's right by the what was it, the Wells Fargo court.
Yeah.
Actually very surprisingly good, and their green tea lemonade is actually on par. I was like,
Nice.
not bad. But I'm like, yeah, get the orders, get the rice cooking, and get the green tea ready, because if we go to original Ichigo, we're gonna be here a while.
Yeah, unless we do 7-episode increments, in which case it'll be 14 weeks. That's more manageable than doing 20 weeks of 5 episodes.
Oh,
And not even like 5 episodes, because there's 98. So
I'm getting exhausted just thinking about it.
I know. And we can't even
give me
and as
something
good as Stronger is, we can't do Stronger unless we do Ichigo.
Give us, like, reel us into something nice. That's all I say. Give us something nice so we just sit back and watch. Because talking about 86 and then 08 was just like a big, like, oh, okay, yeah.
It's like, even though we're doing them in 4-episode increments, like, it feels like we're actually covering 8 episodes.
It feels like 8 episodes, because it's just like, wait, okay, I have to focus. Remember this, and then now we're going, okay.
Yeah. So like, meanwhile, like, Build, even though we were doing them like 6 episodes at a time, like, it felt like a nice, consistent 2-hour film every week. So it's like, it was more manageable despite having more episodes to cover.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's that. Also, be sure to check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do movie reviews, video game news, etc. And we are finishing off Shrek month this Tuesday with Shrek Forever After, the 2010, if I recall, film where we finish the Shrek saga until that infamous 5th film comes out whenever it's supposed to.
Are you not diving into Puss in Boots?
No, we're just doing the main movies.
Okay,
believe me, at some point, like, if there's going to be a Puss in Boots 3, maybe we'll do the entire trilogy together. But until then, it's just you, me, this guy down here. And let's wait till next week, spin that wheel, finally finish this story, and hope some characters get their happily ever after, even without Lisa from the room. So, here we go. And if you want to follow our personal content, where can the ladies and gentlemen in Human Gears find you?
It's just at the IG at Sin Prince, please. I welcome everyone's comments and messages. I have gotten many messages and comments from people. Just, again, loving our banter going back and forth. Like they say, like, it's like hearing 2 old friends, like, sitting in a conversation, just like chatting away.
Yeah.
Thank you for feeling comfortable as we review these shows. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because that's what we want.
Yep. And you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. And with all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay hydrated, update your emergency kits, hug your loved ones, etc. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, because
it only comes once a year.
Yep. Enjoy that day off. Unless you're an essential worker, obviously, but hopefully you either A, get holiday pay, or B, get Tuesday off as compensation. Or Friday and Thursday, because come on, guys. Like, we all need that consecutive 3 days off. It's the fact that it's consecutive that makes it more special. Yeah, and until then, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy that extra barbecue, because what is mourning our fallen heroes without some red meat and some plyometric sports?
Or in this case, some hot tofu soup and some cow tongue. Yep. Just enjoy it, people. Be safe
I'd
out
rather
there.
have cow hearts. Way
Now
better.
now you're getting too gourmet for our fans. Okay, I would
Hey,
enjoy
hey,
it.
hey, hey,
I love it.
hey! Who is my username based on?
I know.
Yeah. Hey, but you know, my grandmother always said this: there's two things a man should never do: make a woman cry, and handle food crudely.
Mm-hmm.
Some people forget that second one. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Good night.